Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Ultimate Affiliate Marketing. I'm your host, it's Paul Motley here. And today I want to talk about following up once someone becomes an email lead with you. Now, this may be used in a number of ways. It might be used after they've immediately got on your email list, or you could use this exact sort of like a 5-day formula, if you like, if you have a launch coming up, whether it be one of your own products or whether it be an affiliate launch, right? So we're going to start off on day one. You're going to want to try and sort of like set the stage, let people know what to expect. And the idea of this email really is to sort of like introduce yourself. So if it's somebody and you're using it for a launch and they're already on your email list, then obviously, you know, they should be getting used to getting emails from you by now, but you're going to start turning the conversation towards the end goal, which we'll get to in day 5, right? So you start off and you just want people to let them know. And obviously, you know, this is where hopefully you get them under the hook and they start getting ready and they know what to expect, and they're going to open the following other 4 emails that come. So like on day 5, you want to start really with sort of like trying to elicit an emotional response. So something like a high drama moment or something that happened to you. I mean, I remember a few years ago when I was running my own business, and I think it was back in 2006, and the recession started happening in the UK. And I remember just like sitting at the kitchen table and really like completely exasperated. I knew the bills were due to come out in the next couple of weeks, and I knew that we didn't have enough money to cover those bills. The phone had stopped ringing, so jobs weren't coming in, and those jobs which I went out to, I was in that much of a state. It was almost virtually impossible to get the sale because people just pick up on negativity. And just sitting at that kitchen table and the tears welling up in my eyes, and I really didn't know what to do or how to try and, you know, get past it. And, you know, after running the business for so long, I just kept thinking to myself, how has it come to this? How is it that it's, you know, not working right now? You know, it can't just be because of the recession. There must be something else which is stopping me from getting there. And then this is like this. That's kind of like a little story. It's a true story actually of how I literally hit the wall with my own business. You know, if you've listened to the podcast before, you'll know that I ran my own business for 24 years. It was a local window blinds company. And yeah, we were, you know, really struggling back then. And, you know, we had massive issues trying to, you know, make payments on bills that were coming out. We didn't know if we could afford the mortgage. And, you know, at that point, you know, there was other mouths to feed in the house as well. You know, I'd got a son, and, you know, he was, how old would he have been? Well, my first son would have been like 6 at the time. Hadn't had the other 2 at that point. But, you know, and things were, I think actually, no, I might have actually had the second one by that point as well. So, yeah, and he would have been like a baby. So, yeah, it was important. Things were difficult. But that's the kind of like thing that people can really associate with, and it is high drama, and it is kind of like a, you know, they will think back, you know, that sort of thing will elicit an emotional response, because there's a good chance that in their lifetime they've hit similar walls and they've hit similar problems, and they would have been at their kitchen table, whether, you know, with a spouse or not, and just stared into a blank space thinking, this is it, I'm going under. Right. And, you know, it's a horrible place to be. But like I said, that's going to trigger them. And, you know, if you leave the sort of like the cliffhanger, you let people know what subject line to wait for tomorrow, that way they're going to be, you know, they're invested now. They're going to start thinking, right, okay, well, I need to listen to what happens next. And then so we get to the day 3. And that's when you start talking about your epiphany. And you think, I mean, in my case, it was, I need to find a way to market or get sales calls in, you know, other than repeat business, other than, you know, what was going on right now. And I couldn't afford, you know, to spend big bucks on, you know, newspaper adverts or billboards or leaflet drops or anything like that. So the one thing that I saw a lot of people doing was that they were using Facebook ads and, you know, trying to build a list And that was kind of like, well, it was basically, no, it was advertising. I'm not even sure if Facebook ads were out back then, but that was the kind of like the thing. That was the epiphany, and that was the one thing that I figured out, or they saw that other people were doing and I wasn't doing. So I needed to learn how to do it. And that's kind of like how you're going to cover on your day 3. Is like the epiphany that you had, the one big thing that you needed to complete or get done to really start pushing things back on the right level again. And then we get to day 4, where you're going to start talking about, a product or service, or it's an affiliate product or your own product. Or like I said, if it's just your beginning series for people, just talk about your experience. And in my case, it was, okay, right, well, if I start building this email list, if I start using ads, then, there are better ways to try and do things. So if I can capture, like I said, build that email list as well as getting calls, and maybe hook up a booking service, all these different things that I needed to do. And that's what started happening. And when you get to day 5, that's when you can start putting up like your urgency, your calls to action. So you don't really need to have links out to a product or an affiliate product on the first 4 days. You can leave that until day 5. And then you can start talking about the actual product itself, how it helps you to solve the problem, how it's going to help solve their problem if you're doing a launch. And you've got to put a call to action in there. You've got to make the scarcity real. So if you're doing a webinar, you've got to tell them that it's coming down on X, Y, and Z date and mean it. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, there it is again after 3 weeks. I'm talking, just do that. And that's what I'm all pushing towards myself now, with my Easy Leads program, which is going to be coming out on Black Friday. But I made a decision. If you listened to the podcast yesterday, you would have heard me sort of like almost having a mental chat with myself, thinking whether or not I should leave it up over the weekend or just go for one push on Black Friday itself, 24-hour sale, and that's it. Sure, the products will be available again, but it's going to be a much worse. Black Friday basically is a 53% off deal, so that's pretty decent, I think, and that's worth doing, especially when I take into account all the good things that I've added in there as extra bonuses, which really makes the whole program tick. It's something that rounds it all off, and everyone that's had it so far have come back with great testimonials. They've had brilliant results themselves, and they've even gone on to start helping their clients using the same system as what I've taught them. And I think that's the gratifying thing for me, and that's the validation that I needed, really, to say, okay, right, well, maybe I should do a sale on it to try and get it in the hands of more people. So if you're on my email list, you're going to start getting these, and you'll start seeing it hopefully from tomorrow, if I remember rightly. But that's the whole point, and that's what that's how you're going to start igniting people into your life. You're going to be able to establish that trust with them, that rapport. They're going to start to get to know you, and obviously if they associate and they understand the problems that you've gone through, and if it's something that resonates with them, then you'll become more personal to them, and they're more likely to open your emails going forward as well, because they'll enjoy reading. People like, believe it or not, people like hearing about other people, right? That's what all the the gossip columns are for, and stuff like that. People want to know that and about other people's lives. It's just an inherent thing in the human race, I guess, and that's why even these reality shows have done so well, because people just want to see and want to watch, and it's crazy, but that's how it is. So yeah, that's kind of like what I would do if it was coming up, and in fact it is exactly what I'm going to do for this Black Friday deal that I've got coming out this coming Friday, the 27th. So depending on when you've listened to this, it may come have gone, and if it has, apologies, you're going to have to pay full price. But if you are listening and you're on my email list, or go and have a look on my Facebook at the moment, you'll hopefully see some posts heading that way, so that you can get in on Friday and enjoy the training and start getting some excellent results from it. So I'm going to lock off here Sunday night. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had an awesome weekend, and we look forward to really smashing it out this week.